Hello, everyone. We're going to talk about translations today. And translations are pretty easy, but we're going to talk about some notation that might make us double think at times. Okay. So don't forget that translations is another word or a fancy word for slides. So today we're talking about slides. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how the translations actually move things. So we're actually going to move them at time. We'll figure out where the translated figures go, and then we're going to make some statements about it as well. So these are the words we need to know, and some of them we already talked about. The only ones that are really actually new to this lesson that we haven't talked about a couple days ago, my battery's low. I hope I make the whole thing here. Horizontal, remember, is this way. That's left to right. And you can remember that because you heard of the horizon of a sun, because you could draw a sun there, like for a sunset if you wanted to. Okay. Image is the new guy, the new moved figure. And the pre-image is the original, the unmoved figure. Translation is a slide, and vertical is up or down. So those are our vocab words. Okay, there's a little warm up, but you can do that on your own. It's just kind of playing around with the translations a little bit. Okay, so how do you know if it's a translation or not? It's a slide for sure, and they move the same distance. At the end of the day, the two shapes, the old guy and the new guy, are the exact same shape. And if I actually cut them out and put one on top of each other, they would like hide each other. So in this example, A, B, C is the old guy, and I know that because there's no prime marks. A prime, B prime, C prime is a new guy. So remember, A goes to the new A. So what did we do here? We went to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we went to the right 4, and then we went down 1, 2, 3. And if you move the shape, all of those points would be that way. Look at B. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. There's the new B. How about the new C? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And there's the new C. So you can tell because it'll be the exact same. They all have to make the same move. So if it's a horizontal translation, it's kind of easier to tell. It just moves left or right, but you have to be careful because sometimes kids want to say this that moved 1, 2, 3. They just want to count the spot between it, but oh no, you can't do that. Here is the old guy. Here is the new guy. How many did it actually move? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This point to this point, the star to the star moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the top one as well. So make sure you do the full counts. Vertical is up or down, same thing. Don't just count this spot. That's not right. We have to say old guy to new guy. What happened? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are both. This is a 5-stepper, a horizontal translation of 5, or vertical. We don't know which one is the original or the image or pre-image because there's no prime marks, but just don't fall into the trap of counting the spaces in between. That is a bad, bad deal. Okay, so let's identify some translations here. The orange triangle is the pre-image. Remember what that means? That means it's the original. So I'm going to actually write that to help me. The pre-image moved how many units horizontally? Well, which way is horizontally? That's left or right. To get to the purple triangle, well, let's just match it up. From here to here, how many did it move? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 units. In which direction did it move? It moved to the left. How about vertically from orange to C? Well, here's the original. It will match up with this original. How many steps? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 units, and that is up. So that's how you can find out how many steps. You just count from the old point to the new point. So here they say identify the translation from the pre-image. Triangle JKL to the image triangle JK, J prime, K prime, L prime. So what's that saying? This statement just tells me JKL is the original and this guy is the new guy. How did it move? Did it go horizontally, left or right? Did it move left or right? It sure did. How many to the left did it go? 1, 2, 3. It did move left. It went 3 units to the left. Did it go vertical? Did it go up or down at all? Let's look. 1, 2, 3. Then it went up 2. Sure did. It went up 2. And that was the answer to the next one. So do we know if it moved left or right first or up or down? It doesn't really matter. You can move up or down first or left or right first. Usually I just go in the order it says, but you'll end up in the same place. Here is the fancy notation. So what is this saying? Okay, we're going to call it the code. They're going to say that you have a point. So let's say our point is here at 1, 1. Okay, they're calling it X, Y. That is the original. Then they're going to, remember what we said this, it's mapped, that is the move. They're going to move it by taking a number and adding it to the X. So I had 1, 1. If I add something to the X, let's say we add 3. Let's say that A is 3. My new point will be 4 because 1 plus 3 is 4. And let's say that B is 4. That would be 1 plus 4, and that would be 5. And look where my new point will go. It'll go right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what happened was this point, A, is the way it goes to the left or right. It went 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3, and it went 4 up, 1, 2, 3, 4. So X, whatever's with the X is your left or right, and whatever's with your B is your up or down. And this is how many units you move, whatever you add to it. If you go to the right, it will be a positive number. If you go to the left, it'll be a negative number because when you count on the plane, you go left or right. Positive is right, negative is left. Up is positive and down is negative. It can be tricky, but if you use your brain, I know you can do it. So let's see. Here's the steps. We're going to write out in words first. That helps us. And then remember, A goes with X, and that's just how many units you move to the right or the left. Positive for right, negative for left. B is the up or down. Positive is up, negative is down. That goes with the Y. Then we'll write out that code, and we'll actually use the code to help us. So let's see what happens. If I have 3, 2, and we'll call it XY, and I move it 4 to the right, and I move it 2 down. Right goes with X, down goes with Y. So instead of XY, I'm going to have X. If I go 4 to the right, that's positive. It'll be plus 4. Oh, I should put a comma. This is Bruno. For the Y, I'm now going to go down 2, which is minus 2. So what this tells me is my code. It says take your point, add 4 to the X. So if I add 4 to my X, 3 plus 4 is 7. Take 2 away from your Y, 2 minus 2 is 0. Your new point will be at 7, 0. Some of you might just want to sketch it to do it, and that's going to be okay. Look, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. This is my point. If I go 4 to the right, where am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm at 7. Now I got to go down 2. There it is at 0, just where I thought. 7, 0. So what happens on this one? We're going to find the coordinates if it goes 3 to the right and 2 up. So 3 to the right and 2 up. Write it out in words. Remember, this goes with X and this goes with Y. Now we can write our code. XY is now going to be 3 to the right. Well, that's plus 3. X plus 3. 2 up, that's a plus as well. That's a Y plus 2. So all of these points on A, B, and C are going to add 3 and add 2. So what's my first point at A? Well, A is at 1, 2, 3, negative 3, and down 4. So what's my new A going to be? Well, I'm going to add 3 to the X. So negative 3 plus 3 is 0. And I'm going to add 2 to the Y. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. So the new A, or A prime, will be at 0, negative 2. Some of you might have said, well, I could have just moved that by myself. And I think you're right. If they give you a picture, you go ahead and move it by yourself. If you go 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3, and up 2, you're going to know just where it is. And I'm fine with that. But they want us to practice with the code. So we will. Okay, how about b? The original b, where is it at? The original b is at -1, -4. The new b, I have to add 3 to the x and add 2 to the 4. So -1 plus 3 is 2, -4 plus 2 is -2. So my new b is going to be at 2, -2, and we'll call that b prime. And for c, c is at -2, 1. Remember, we're adding 3 to the x, so add 3 to the x, add 2 to the y, and you'll be at 1, 3. So if I go to 1, 3, that's where it is, and look, that's the new c. And guess what? If I connect the dots, I'm translated or slid that triangle. Mine's a little messy, but you get the idea. But yes, you could just count it if you want, and some of you might say that would be way easier, and I'm not going to argue with you. So why don't you go ahead and do this one? You can write the code. I do want you to practice with the code. If I go 3 to the right and 4 down, what will my code be? Well, XY is the old guy, is now going to go. What's 3 to the right due to the X? It adds 3. What's 4 down due to the Y? It subtracts 4. But if you're going to find the new spots, you can do it by hand too. Let's do this one by hand. Here's my S. Where's the new S? 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4 down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Where am I at? I'm at 1, -5. That is S prime. How about T? 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4 down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Where am I at? -1, -2. That's the new T or T prime. Same thing with R. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I connect it, I'm looking at the new triangle S prime, T prime, R prime, but mine's a little squiggly because it's messy. But we could have used the code as well, because look, T is at -4 too. Add 3 to the X, subtract 4 from the Y, you're at -1, -2. Guess where that T was? -1, -2. So you can do it by hand or you can use the code. Okay, you don't have to put a number for 0. If it doesn't move left or right at all, that you could put a 0, but a lot of times we don't. So what this one is saying that it does not move left or right. This one just only goes down 4. Same thing here. This one is just moving to the right 3. It's not going up or down at all. So when there's a 0, they won't put it in, and we won't either. Okay, so which one of these codes is right? They took -4, 6, and they moved it 4 to the left. But that's it, not up or down at all. So remember, X is with the left and right, Y is with the up or down. So which one of these is correct? Well, we're going to take XY and we're going to move it 4 to the left. That's a -4, not up or down at all, just a comma Y. So that will be the last choice. Where will that point be? We can even find that. Subtract 4 from this one and you're at -8. Leave that Y the same and it's at 6, and that moves it to the left and the right. Let's try this one. Take 3, 2 and move it 4 to the right and 2 down. So let's see what we have here. 4 to the right, that's in the X direction, and that's a +4. 2 down is a -2. So XY is going to go X plus 4, Y minus 2. So my point 3, 2 will go to add 4 to the X. That gives me 7. Subtract 2 from the Y. That gives me 0. So we can do it by using the code. Figure out what the rule is for this one. Which one is the original? The original is the one without the primes. So what happened here? Well, how did I go from A to A prime? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I went to the left 5. Then what did I do? I also went up 1. This is in the X direction. This is in the Y. So what is my code? XY is going to become X minus 5 and then Y plus 1. Up gets the positive, left gets the negative. Okay, what happened here? Let's see the original. The original is here. There's the ones with the primes. What was the move? Well, how did I get from A to A prime? I went to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I went up 2. So which one of these says right 4 and up 2? Well, right is positive and up is positive. This is with the X and this is with the Y. So it is our last choice. Okay, sometimes it gets a little trickier, so let's see what happens here. They said point A is at negative 5, 1. It goes to 0, 2. We have to figure out what happened. Well, how did I get from negative 5 to 0? If this was my X, how did I get to 0? Well, you added 5. So I put negative 5 plus 5 and I got 0. How did I get from 1? Where's my pen? Oh, my battery went dead. Let me pause it real quick. Okay, sorry. I don't think I actually charged it at all. So, anyway, how did I get from 1 to 2 with the Y? I took the Y and I added 1. So my code should be X plus 5, Y plus 1. And that takes a negative 5 plus 5 to get to the 0, 1 plus 1 to get to the 2. So let's try this one. How did I get from D to D prime? Or E to E prime or F to F prime? Well, we took my X and Y and we got to figure out what the move was. How did I get from negative 3 to 1? Well, I had to get to 0 first, right? So I had to add 4. So I took the X and I added 4. How about the Y? How did I get from negative 2 to negative 4? Well, that's going lower. So I'm going down 2 to get to negative 4. That will be Y minus 2. So that would be the code. I think that's the last one. My slate almost made it. Stop just short. Thanks, guys.